The next thing is legal efforts to fight the Tavistock High Court ruling begin. Would you like to give a little recap on what Tavistock High Court ruling is?
Right, yes. Kira Bell and the mother of a 15-year-old who was seeking treatment through Tavistock tried to...
they pretty much
what's
took
the word?
court. They tried to get it so under 16s could
is the
not
word,
have...
Is the word sued, or did they do a different thing?
They did. I think it was a lawsuit. I don't know. I got to check the actual specifics. Either
some
way,
kind
they
of
went
legal
to the
proceedings.
High Court. They went to the High Court, and they took the NHS Gender Identity Development Service, Tavistock and Portman, over claims that they were just, allowing anyone to go onto puberty blockers. The puberty blockers were dangerous, and that they caused all these other things.
They attacked Gillick competence as well.
That
to
was
the point. Well, yeah, they attacked Gillick competence to the point that even 16 and 17-year-olds they were saying can't consent, even though
that's completely separate to Gillick competence. That was just attacking ability to medical consent. They got rid of Gillick competence completely. Under 16s cannot consent to puberty blockers, even if they do understand medication. Also, 16 and 17-year-olds, if the parents object to going onto puberty blockers, then the doctor, in theory, is going to have to go to court to demonstrate that the 16 or 17-year-old has the ability to medically consent, which, considering that the baseline age for medical consent in the UK, full medical consent in the UK, is 16, rules are second-class citizens. What's interesting is the NHS has, even though the policy states that only the child can't consent to puberty blockers, so by theory the parents can do that, the Tavistock and Portman, from what I've heard, have just blocked every under 16-year-old. I've heard some people talking about that. So, they're just taking things too far. And so legal efforts have begun to tackle this. Just trying to find the correct place. So it was on the 22nd of December that the BBC reported that Tavistock was seeking leave to appeal against the High Court of England and Wales ruling against the use of puberty blockers in under 18s. However, one thing I got from talking to all these other people is the fact that they don't really trust Tavistock. There's some conflict of interest involved in Tavistock in how some of the doctors under Tavistock also are involved with a private practice, not Gender GP, which was the one that the media tried to shut down recently, but they're involved with a different one. So there's some people the fact that they gave in so easily in the High Court case before. Some people feel like they're actually doing it deliberately just so they can kind of wash their hands of everything. So yes, just trying to find So the Good Law Project, which was a fund, which is a group that started raising a fund immediately. Actually, as the case was ongoing, it wasn't even immediately after. They are looking to intervene in this appeal, meaning that they'd become part of the legal process and would therefore be able to directly advocate on behalf of trans folk through various NGOs. And they also seek to challenge Tavistock over the facts that they are not allowing parents to consent to their child's treatment, even though this completely falls outside the High Court ruling. That's another reason people are a little bit distrustful of Tavistock at the moment, because the ruling had nothing to do with parents being able to consent to their child's treatment. So for them to go ahead and just stop, giving anyone under 16 puberty blockers, that's a little bit suspicious. So both these plans were laid out at the first meeting of the advisory group to the Legal Defence Fund for Transgender Lives. Said fund refers to the £132,000 they crowdsourced, started shortly before the ruling was declared. So if anyone's been sort of waiting for news on the ruling and what's going on there, that's what's sort of going on right now. They're just starting to meet up, they're starting to draw up plans, and the two main points they're going for so far are literally we want to be a part of the case. We actually want to have people who have transitioned under Gillick competence, or those who were, come forward and talk about their experiences, because that is one of the travesties of the High Court ruling, is the fact that nobody who transitioned under Gillick competence or had done so was brought up during the case. They allowed transphobic groups to have their moment, but again, no actual patients were discussed in the no actual patients were allowed to give their statements in the court case.
That's always the way, isn't it? We need to have a fair and balanced discussion by having a bunch of transphobes on one side and absolutely no one else on the other side.
Mm-hmm. So it's they just really, it's just trans people want to have a voice in this, and that's what this project is seeking to do. It's seeking to give us a voice. It's quite a short story. They've been quite slim on the details. I'm guessing that's just the way it's going to be, because again, it's a legal case. I guess they don't want to share too many details, give too much about what they're going to bring forward out. That's sort of where that's going.